Hey, what's up guys? Robbie here. So today I wanted to share with you some of my favourite succulents from the genus Euphorbia. So Euphorbia is a really large genus with around 2,000 species, and they come in such a wide variety of sizes, colours, shapes, all of that. And I'm going to share with you some of the ones I've got at home. What initially attracted me to this particular genus is that even though some species have these really threatening spines, I don't think you can really see that actually. So they do have these really big spines occasionally, and these are commonly mistaken for cacti, and they're not actually a cactus or part of the cactus tribe or family. So what makes them different from a cactus is that they don't have this part called an areole. And what I'll do, actually probably should show this. So on this, where the spines join onto the kind of modified stem, these parts here, this is what makes a cactus, and that is what Euphorbia are missing. And also another cool little feature is that a lot of them have some like leaf structure to them as well, which is kind of a bit weird and unusual. So Euphorbia can be found naturally growing in southern and eastern parts of Africa, and occasionally over in kind of tropical Asia and America. They are a flowering genus, with some flowers being quite insignificant and you're not really going to notice them, but some, like this Euphorbia millii, actually have quite cute kind of flowers, which I'll go more into at another point. It's really, my camera is really struggling to focus, unfortunately, but anyway. However, all Euphorbias do produce this white sap, which can be an irritant, so you do need to be a bit careful. I did break a little bit off one of mine a second ago when I was moving them around. So it is an irritant, so just be careful around any pets, children and stuff. You want to keep them away. But yeah, otherwise, really cool. So I'm going to show you some of mine. So this one is Euphorbia millii, or otherwise known as crown of thorns. So it is a little bit hard for me to focus this, I'm really sorry. I'm trying. But yeah, and you can kind of see as well, look at all of those kind of spines, really, oh. So this one originates from Madagascar. So yeah, these kind of flowers that I was just showing you are technically not flowers, but they are bracts, and then within the bracts they've got the inflorescence, and now I can't actually remember, they either are male or female, so I think that's right, or maybe I should have looked into that, but I think this is really cool. The bracts you can get in kind of red and different colours as well. So this is definitely one to kind of look out for, and it's really, really easy. This one that I have now placed in my bedroom out the back, and it seems to be growing crazier, even though the light is less intense than it was when it was growing in my living room. And yeah, so there's that one. Now, this next one is a real kind of favourite of mine, and I fell in love with it as soon as I saw it. Oh, stones falling down. So this is a Euphorbia stellata. I don't really know how to pronounce all of the species names, but it's about giving it a go and trying it. It's not about getting it right so much. So this one I've got growing in my living room, and you can kind of see on some of the modified stems here that they are starting to get like a kind of a purpley kind of colour, and that is from the light intensity. So I do find it does get that kind of colouring the more intense light it gets. And yeah, what really attracted me to this particular one was the kind of caudix form, and it's like a little bulb almost, and then these kind of like tentacles crawling out. So these looking forms of Euphorbia come under Medusinoid. Again, not sure if I'm pronouncing that quite right, and that is because they are kind of named after the Greek mythology Medusa and that kind of snake-like hair, which is, I just think, really cool. I can't remember if this one has flowered for me, but I think if it has, they've been really insignificant and I haven't really noticed. I've got another form like this, which is currently situated outside my bedroom because it is not looking its best and has a really bad mealybug infestation. So yeah, this one I think is super cool, and I can kind of start to see the new growth coming, which is awesome. And what I really like about this is when it's dehydrated as well, these thick stems aren't so thick, so I really kind of gauge it on that, and I'll just wait until it's looking parched and then give it really nice healthy soak from below. Oh, I found a mealybug on this one. No sir, no. Alright. They're really prickly as well. So, and now this one is definitely one of my tops. This is Euphorbia grandicornis. Hang on. Euphorbia grandicornis. There we go. And I think I almost had it flowering, but I tried to put it outside in the summer rain, and I think either something came along and maybe had a nibble, so it's not so great because and I think some have dried up, which is a little upsetting, but never mind. But yeah, what I really loved about it is these really thick kind of spines, and it's at this moment, this one looks like a kind of a club in a way, and I think it's super cool. So this one kind of originates from southern Africa, so Swaziland and kind of Mozambique, those kind of areas. Remember that one, so let's put him back. And then I've got this big boy. This is a Euphorbia trigona, and one of the more common Euphorbias you can find everywhere. And he is really big and quite heavy to move around, although he needs a water soon. So yeah, these are more common. This is the red form, so Euphorbia trigona rubra. So this is possibly a hybrid, so it's actually only in cultivation, so that means you're not really going to find it out in the wild, and it's been bred in cultivation in greenhouses, and that is for that kind of nice dark reddy colour, which isn't kind of showing up on my camera. Maybe if I try and pull it forward a little bit, you might be able to see the kind of reddy colour to it, which is it's really cool. And it's got these lovely little leaves, which at the moment my other trigona doesn't have, and that's probably because I haven't quite got the care or the watering schedule right with that guy, but I don't mind. And that is, and I really like that Euphorbias do give off these leaves. It gives them a bit more of a different structure to cacti. So yeah, these ones are commonly known as African milk tree, and they can be found in Central Africa. And then finally, the one behind me, I'm not actually too sure the species name, but this one I just thought was super weird and super freaking cool with all its leaves everywhere. Unfortunately, this guy does have a really, really bad mealybug infestation, which is probably from, you can't really see it, this guy up here, my Lepismium cruciform, has got really bad mealybugs, but the plant still seems happy. I do keep meaning to sort the mealybugs out, but I've been very lazy this growing season. But yeah, I think this is really cool with all this kind of vegetation almost, and I don't know if you can really see any of the mealybugs in there, but you can kind of see some of them. They're a bit gross, but yeah, if you actually have any idea what species this is, then leave us a comment, because I would be really interested to know the species name, so I can do a little bit more research into it. So these are pretty much all of the Euphorbias I've got at home, and there are some super interesting ones out there, so definitely keep your eyes out for them. I want to get one of like the pencil Euphorbias, which are really thin looking and super cool, and I've got a few other ones on my kind of like plant wish list. So most of my Euphorbias are actually situated in my living room. My living room is like southeast facing, so I've got them as close to the window as possible to get as much light, which seems to be sufficient for them. You don't want to keep them in direct sun for too long, so you don't really want them in complete south facing windows, as that could possibly burn them, which is something we don't want. They're all in varying different sized pots, so I'm watering them all a little bit differently, but the majority of the time I just gauge it by feeling the pot and seeing how heavy it is, so I can tell with my Millii and my Grandicornis that these need to be watered, because as soon as I picked them up they were too easy to lift up. So yeah, they're really, really easy to care for, and a lot don't need that kind of intense light cacti do, so it can be grown in a bit more kind of bright indirect light. And a little fun fact, the poinsettias that you see at Christmas come under the Euphorbia family, and I think that's just a little bit bonkers. But there we go, that's kind of Euphorbias for you. Yeah, let us know what you think in the comments below, and yeah, until next time, keep on growing guys, bye.